Today's topic is really about your personal brand on social media, because people love to do business with people they can make a connection with. And speaking about connections, thank you for connecting me to this event, Mayor.
All right, hello everyone, good morning. If you don't know who I am, I'm Mayor Jackie Beasy. So I'm glad that you're here with us. We work with the Economic Advisory Council. Paulino is here from our Economic Advisory Council. Daryle serves on our Economic Advisory Council. And we started this Breakfast and Learn series in the fall. We had a great turnout and everybody said we want more. So we brought Daryle back to give us the next step. But if you have more suggestions on more Breakfast and Learns, we're going to try to do another one now in the springtime and then maybe one in the fall again. So we would love to hear feedback on what you'd like to learn more about and what we could help you with. But we're so glad to have you.
In the room, job changers, career changers, all these different transformation parts of our life. And that is so important to today's topic because we have a wealth of experience in a variety of areas that we could potentially share with our clients. And a lot of times we like to, maybe forget those because we don't want people to know that we're doing a bunch of different things, but there's a medical description for it. Everybody's heard of ADD, right? Attention deficit disorder. This is the opposite, which is attention surplus disorder. So this is where we can do multiple things, multiple tasking, bring our career, our existence, our energy from all the things we've done, whether it was a job that we had growing up, whether there's an opportunity to really share their skills in what you're doing today. So I say, embrace your whole life's journey and bring that into your branding. So I'm going to share a little bit about my life's journey. And I started out here as DJ Daryle in 7th grade at Marlton Middle School. We had a planning committee meeting for the Sweetheart Dance. And in 7th grade, DJ Bishop knows you're either going to have your older brothers and sisters records or you're going to have your parents' records. But at that point, my dad had a jukebox. So they said, who's going to be the DJ? I volunteered. And in 7th grade, I DJ'd my Sweetheart Dance utilizing, my father happened to have a jukebox with current songs in it. So Donna Summer, Village People, all the party songs, Funky Town, all those I was able to play at my 7th grade dance. And that launched my DJ career because I had an opportunity. This is Cherokee High School photo. I was also DJ'd all the dances at Cherokee High School as well. My father was a big mentor in my life. I was on tour at the 70s show as a character called Disco D as the DJ part of it. And I also passed on the DJ skills to my son and my daughter as well. And I'm official tailgate DJ for some Eagles tailgating parties. So the DJ part of my life is part of my existence because I can bring those public speaking skills into it. But that got me to the next stage of my life where I wanted to be a radio DJ, and I had an opportunity to work at a Philadelphia top 40 radio station called Eagle 106. I was the party patrol lifeguard on the weekends. I had the opportunity to go out to special events and meet people. Also, too, I had the opportunity to be featured on from different opportunities I was working with on CBS on the Early Show, ABC, NBC, Fox 29. So I was able to parlay this DJ experience into media experience. And essentially what happens is when people know you're in the media, they come to you and they say, hey, can you mention my company on the radio? Can you get the word out about it? And that was really what brought me into what I do today, because we could do a great job getting you on media. Those people are gonna find you, they're gonna look you up, they're gonna go to your website, but what does your brand look like? And can you attract new business from all this media notoriety that you're getting? So moving on to the next area was working with, on the celebrity side, which is working at opportunities where I could take businesses and get them exposure. I had a great opportunity to work with the Ballet Fitness franchise chain. They used the Baywatch Girls as their promotional grand opening, so I was able to work on some TV stuff. Partial side of the head of this guy, you might know who he is. I had an opportunity to work in the record business with Janet Jackson on her first album. Some local notoriety with local artists that had a big top 10 hit back in the 80s, which was called Catch Me I'm Falling. It's a group called Pretty Poison. Had an opportunity to work with the Housewives on some of their book tours. And also worked on the first X-Men movie with Sir Ian McClellan back in the early 2000s there. And also you might remember a movie from a local sports player, Eagle, Vince Papale, so this is a premiere. I did a red carpet event for Disney for the Invincible premiere in Philadelphia. So the opportunities really were part of my life. The other part of it is you might have some similar experiences. Community service is a big part of it. Volunteering and community, bring that into your brand as well. So as we start to weave this branding message together, I want to make sure that you relate to some of the experience that you have in the community, supporting charities and organizations. Just had an opportunity to DJ the ECM Education Foundation, Casino Night, and also too, I was involved with law enforcement as well as a fire police officer in Medford, New Jersey. And most recently, did an event with Deborah for their annual toy run, providing toys for the kids that were in the Deborah Heart and Lung Center. Throughout the year, they actually have a toy closet. We do a fundraiser for them as well. And why I mention all these things is, once again, weave this into your brand. Also, the brands that I was able to help over my career, and I still do, as I mentioned, a variety from the record entertainment business, worked very closely with TD Bank on a long-term engagement on their digital customer experience, as well as working with some local businesses that you might see here, like Adjust Sleep, Main Street Auto, and Learning Center. So this is not a comprehensive list, but I've worked with a variety of businesses, and that's really given me an education in looking at how different audiences react to different businesses, because everybody has an audience that they want to connect with. And whether it's a consumer business, whether it's a consumer product, whether it's a service, there's all different ways that you can connect to your audience, which eventually does business to you. Had an opportunity, we're also a Google Premier partner, so I have an opportunity to, on a regular basis, to go to Google headquarters in New York to learn the latest and greatest of what they're doing, because they're always changing what they're doing. They're always listening to the consumer, and they want to make sure that they're delivering the best content to the consumer. They collect tons of information, so it's a great opportunity to kind of hear what they're trying to do going forward. And speaking of going forward, let's talk about where some of the trends are going first before we get into it. So 2012 to 2015, I look at 3-year trends. So 2012 to 2015 was embracing mobile-friendly design, meaning if you have a website, you want to make sure that people would visit that website on a mobile device. And I'm sure many of you have gone to websites and it looks horrible on a mobile device. You got to pinch, you got to stretch, you got to grab. So this is a trend that, as I said, was a while ago, almost 10 plus years ago, and we're still struggling with it, making sure whatever we do web-wise, it's mobile friendly, okay? The next 3-year time period, I say, was 2016 to 2019, which is about social proof and engagement, and really focused on integrating social media and your user reviews. You know, Google places a lot of emphasis on something called the 3 R's. So it's recency, making sure the content you're putting out is recent. They don't want to show somebody something from 5 years ago. Relevancy, if somebody's searching for a word, key phrase, and answer to a question, you want to make sure you get a relevant result. And the 3rd R is reviews. So that's what the social proof part of it is about. You can tell people how great you are, but it's so much more impactful when a customer says, hey, I had a great experience with Kelly. She found the right mattress for me. You know, that's the type of thing that we look for as consumers. 3rd, digital first impressions and experience. So basically, the pandemic taught us a lot because we weren't going out, right? We were in our homes quite often because we were in lockdown, and we used the internet as our window to the world. So a lot of businesses realized they had to up their game digitally. If you update your website in 5 years, you were updating your website because you're looking to get business because you didn't have your brick and mortar store open, and you were looking to get more clientele. So a lot of people were focusing on upping their game in their website, making sure it was recent, making sure it was relevant, making sure it had the latest information so they can continue to do business and not go out of business. And here's where we're at right now. This is my prediction for the 2026, which is authentic and value-driven branding, which is essentially today's topic. You know, websites are really shifting towards what we're calling authentic storytelling and value-driven content to connect customers and reflect the branding. And basically what that means is no more stock images on your website, or stock images that really have an impact on what you're doing. So you'll see on my website, I have a group of people at a table kind of looking like they're planning. You know, that's fine, but there's a lot of people that have these generic images when they set up their website, they just left them there. You know, a picture of you doing what you do, picture of your physical store with people in it, picture of a restaurant of actually people sitting at tables and not just empty tables. So really making that storytelling part of it. And as we go around, we see websites that are missing those components. And this is an ongoing process. It doesn't happen overnight. What we want to do today is we want to create awareness of ways you can improve the experience, and then use that awareness to basically iterate over time, transform over time. So what is personal branding? Let's take a look at the branding umbrella. So branding as a whole is this process of creating a specific image or impression in the mind or others about an individual, a group, or organization. So a specific image or impression. Quick story, I had an opportunity to work with Commerce Bank. The CEO of Commerce Bank is Vernon Hill. And Vernon was real big, Commerce Bank was essentially the fast food of banks. Before Commerce came on the scene, the drive-thrus weren't what they were today. He actually owned Burger Kings, and he modeled his drive-thrus after Burger Kings to make sure they had multiple lanes and people could get through very easily. The other thing he did was hired people with type A personalities rather than traditional bankers, 7-day banking. There was a lot of innovations that Commerce had, but one of the things that he always would talk about was a legendary brand. What is a legendary brand? And the definition, Commerce Bank's definition, is a brand that would evoke some sort of emotion. So Commerce Bank's goal was every time you saw that, everybody remembers Commerce Bank, the big red C. When you saw that big red C, the goal was you would smile or feel good about it. And the way part of that process was having these type A personality people there, friendly. So you're like, oh, big red C. Good experience, friendly, that aspect of it. So think of your brands as legendary brands. Is when people hear your name, see your brand, see your logo, what sort of emotion is being evoked there? Is it smile? Is it good feeling? Is it had a great experience? And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about branding. Now when we get into, so branding is the big umbrella, and the smaller umbrella is personal branding. And the personal branding really is about you, and you as a person, and your career as a brand. So knowing that opportunity to help you and help your customers, let me just close this here, as a brand. So we're going to dive a little deeper on there. So here's some examples of personal branding. Everybody's familiar with all the, Trump National Golf Course and Trump hotels and things like that. Guy does a great job of branding, getting the name out there. The Rock on Instagram, once again, that's his brand. He is a personality and a brand. Gary Vee, who's a social influencer and marketing expert, once again, you look at their social media, it's their face and their brand. Now, we're businesses, but at the end of the day, people are doing business with us as a person. So what I would like to recommend is you integrate yourself along with your brand. So we'll talk about it when we get into social media, but a lot of it is they're doing business with you. Yes, they're being attracted by the brand, but you are the one they are doing business with. So I have a couple examples here for Instagram as far as branding goes. And why I like these examples is it's not only the brand piece, but there's some engagement along the lines. These are basically bookmarks that are in your Instagram profile, but the bookmarks here, as you see, are customized, they're unique, they're colorful. It gives an opportunity for somebody to look at your social media and not just see a zillion posts, but have it broken down. So if you're a realtor, it might say, residential, commercial type of businesses that you work with. Use these categories to your advantage because you can show people, once again, those different dimensions of what you do or how you help people. And site location, all these different things that people come to you with. So from a branding perspective, this is all part of your brand, showing the diversity of the different ways you can help your clients. Another example, Grant Cardone, he talks about real estate, talks about his events, quotes, video clips, talks about travel. So once again, an opportunity to diversify what you're doing with your personal branding and also make sure that you come through as well as your business. But at the end of the day, they are doing business with you. So how's a personal brand created here? Of course, and Kelly and I had a one-on-one the other day talking about identifying your niche. You really look at from a niche perspective, who you're doing business with currently. Take a look at your book of business. Take a look at that demographic. Take a look at that age group and look at opportunities to really identify your niche. Once you have your niche, your segment, your marketplace, then you're going to define your target audience within it. These are very connected in the sense of you know who your ideal customer is. Is it the woman who makes a decision? Is it the man who makes a decision? What age group are they in? So that's really the two important pieces when you get started. The other piece is, once again, establishing your social profile, and we're going to dive deeper into that. So once you have a social profile, we'll move into customizing a strategy around that profile, because at the end of the day, social media is a tactic. Your strategy really aligns to the target audience and the niche you're trying to attract. And then once again, working down on those tactics by getting people to engage with what you're doing, which ultimately gets you the success that you're looking for, sales, monetization, and continue to look for new ways to monetize your business. It could be adding a new product or service. It could be listening to what your customers are saying on what gaps they perceive in the marketplace. And then from there, you can continue to evolve your business by implementing new strategies on a somewhat regular basis. As I said, depending on the type of business that you have, that's going to vary, but you always want to look for new ways to identify new trends and opportunities to keep it fresh. Once again, the recency and the relevancy that Google's looking for. So let me give you some tips to stand out here. If you know me from the networking business, one of the things I always ask when I meet somebody new is tell me who you are, tell me what you do, and tell me why you do it better than anybody else. And they're like, oh, the ego comes in. It's like, I don't really want to say I'm better than anybody else, but okay, tell me what makes you unique in delivering your products or services to your clients. And that's really the factor that people will remember about you, because they're going to say, hey, Kelly, she has a mattress store, but I heard something that I haven't heard before. She customizes mattresses. Okay, so I know she's the custom mattress lady. So that's what people have in their brains. And that's really what we want to do. We want to make sure that you have that uniqueness in what people understand about you through easy to understand. And we're going to dive into that as well, but easy to understand profiles. I need to know what you do. Just like Mark did the commercial for Brett from TBT, he knows what he does. He can say it in 10 words, and that's really what you want people to do, because we work through referrals, recommendations, and networking. And if they don't know what you do and it's complicated and you said something complicated about your business, that doesn't help you at all. They want to know why you're unique. And the highlight of the about me part of it, and what we do is really about making sure that you're visible. And that's, I'm going to show you an example, which is your little profile section there is, what's that short little sentence that I can understand what you do. The other piece is your calls to action. It's great. I've told people who I am, I told them what I do, and I told them why I do it better than anybody else. But what is the call to action? My call to action is I offer a free 15-minute consultation where I can learn a little bit about you and your business and see if we have a basis of working together. So once again, what is your call to action? What is your free complimentary service that you could potentially offer to somebody to learn about what you do? Kelly, free sleep analysis, that type of thing. Chris could be a free marketplace analysis, or if somebody's selling their building, once again, the free valuation analysis. I mean, those types of things. It's like, okay, now I know who they are, what they do, and how they can help me. The other piece is the call to action, as I said, making sure it's clear and engaging, and also people love to smile, so I always say, embrace your fun, witty side to make sure that, once again, you can create a little emotion with it. And make that connection. So, I was at Kelly's the other day. I called out Kelly as well. She's a client of mine. We had a conversation around, she says, I'm in 6 or 7 networking groups. And I said, tell me your 30-second commercial. Give me that 30-second commercial. She goes, well, I vary it based on my target, who I'm talking to in the audience and things like that. But there is a formula for it. And that's what I'm going to share with you right now. So this is called your branding statement. And your branding statement is where you say what you do in a way that actually resonates with your potential clients and customers. And it's a very simple formula. It's, I help X do Y so that Z. X, Y, and Z, right? And X is your ideal client, specific type of person that you serve. Y relates to the problem that you solve, the solution you offer, or the outcome you deliver. and what you do for the person you serve. And Z relates to the benefit or transformation from your ideal client doing Y, the problem that you're solving for them. So what your business, product, or service allows someone to do, to be, to feel, to have, to overcome, or to achieve. So very simply, the formula to implement is I help X, my ideal client, do the problem solved, the solution offered, or the outcome delivered, so that Z, the benefit or transformation, can happen. Pretty straightforward. Let's see it in action. So this is my branding statement. I help businesses elevate their online presence and engagement. That's the who, helping businesses elevate and what we do through strategic social media marketing, ensuring increased visibility and customer interaction. So those are my two benefits that someone working with me, we're going to increase their visibility of their brand, and we're going to help get customers to interact more with their business, which results in them picking up the phone, calling for the free service that they're offering. So let's go around the room, see what we have here. Back up on the slide here. I help X do Y so that Z. And I'll pick on Kelly because we worked on it the other day.
We did. I epically screwed it up when I first did it, but I actually do have it. So, and I did use it yesterday. So it says, I help people with back, hip, joint, and shoulder pain find the perfect custom mattress tailored to their unique needs, allowing them to enjoy a restful night and wake up feeling refreshed. And that is truly 1000% what I do. And that was so much easier than what I said when I first met you all.
And it's going to sound a little wordy to begin with, but you're going to refine that over time. That's what the transformation is about. And when we talk about branding, once again, this is what we call your branding statement, to make sure people know what you do, the problem that you solve, and how you do it, and then what they're going to feel. Just like Kelly at the end said, they're going to have a great night's sleep and they're going to wake up feeling refreshed. That's the benefit. And also, it's easy for other people to share that because they have an understanding of what she does. So I'm showing you the branding statement because the branding statement must be a part of your social media presence. Everybody heard we had milliseconds to attract people's attention. Now it's nanoseconds to attract people's attention. They want the information fast. Tell me who you are, what you do, why you do it better than anybody else. That's what it's about. Any questions on the branding statement? Make sense? Great. So let's jump in, identifying your niche. Once again, identifying your niche is specific about what you do. You're going to put that in your occupation section of your social media. What do I do? I'm a trainer, I'm a coach, I'm a consultant, I'm a photographer. Once again, they know what you do, and then you're going to dive a little bit deeper, and he's going to tell them what makes him a unique photographer, right? Right, Paul? Like from that point of view? Say from a real estate point of view. I'm a realtor, but this is what makes me unique as a realtor. I'm a security specialist. This is what makes me unique as a security specialist. So there's all different opportunities. We want to make sure that we identify our niche. We clearly show that in our social media, salon and spa, of course, and we have the opportunity to engage with our audience. And when we say engaging with our audience, it's really crucial you learn or deep dive about your audience and really know who they are, because once we know who they are, we're going to find out where they hang out, and then where they hang out is where we're going to promote our business. So I have a couple examples here. Motivational speakers have an audience between the ages of 15 and 45. Fitness consultants have audiences between the ages of 18 to 35. Business consultants have a pretty broad audience, 25 to 55. So we look at opportunities, look at those age groups, because that's going to tell you where they're going to be. For example, Facebook generally has an older demographic, right? Instagram is going to have a younger demographic. So if you're spending all this time on Instagram and you have an aging demographic, it's not going to be productive for you. So understanding, once again, your target audience and where they hang out. And then you have a breadth of opportunities to showcase your business to all these different places. So we looked at traditionally your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, your YouTube, your LinkedIn. I'm going to mention two that you may not be aware of, which is Quora and Medium. Also forums, blogs, your Google My Business listing, all these places where you can attract this target audience. Kind of small, but a lot of information here. I'm going to call out some of the things that we look at here. So different social medias here. So I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok. I also put Snapchat on there as well because Snapchat has a younger audience. So once again, Facebook, who do you find here? Generally, it's going to be a concentration of 25 to 34. We're going to have some boomers in there as well. So that's the target audience. Millennials, basically known for Instagram, 18 to 35 is their target demo. 25 to 49 for Twitter, educated generally, they're more on the wealthy side. LinkedIn, of course, is an higher age demographic. They have a bulk of 46 to 55 in the professional category. TikTok, primary age is 10 to 19. Everyone says, I'm putting my business on TikTok because I want to go viral. Well, the target audience on average is between the ages of 10 and 19 years old, so it's a much younger audience, but hey, if I'm viral on TikTok, I'll make my kids proud, I'll be popular in the neighborhood, but is that gonna get me business? At the end of the day, once again, unless you have a product that pertains to service. So we have the toy store, so if you have an owner with a toy store, sure, that's their demographic doing TikTok videos. And also Snapchat. Snapchat's really 13 to 34. And then we jump on our next category as far as content. Facebook, photos, links, information, live videos. The cool thing with Instagram is inspiration and adventure, questions and polls. Twitter, all about news, discussions, things like that. Thought leadership about who you are in your niche. LinkedIn, once again, long form content, core values. Chris does blog posts on Instagram calling out real estate trends and things like that. So once again, building thought leadership on Instagram, that type of content really works well. TikTok's all about humor, engagement, crazy challenges, you know, the Jello challenge, the water challenge, all these crazy things. So from a TikTok perspective, but great for DJ business, right? Great for the younger demographic and showing that you're a company that's recent, relevant, and as a party type of company. Same thing with the Snapchat part of it. Silly, feel good, very trendy. So as far as business marketing strategies, Facebook really is focused on local marketing. It's a lot of neighbors saying, where do you go for this? Where do you go for that? I think it's great for a lot of local businesses specifically because we're local in nature. We want to attract that local audience. It's good for advertising, of course, Facebook ads to advertise those local businesses, and it's good for relationship building. Whereas Instagram, e-commerce, you can create Instagram stores now where you can sell your products or service directly on your Instagram feed. Great opportunity as well. They do a lot of organic engagement in the sense of they recommend other businesses that you might like or other people you might like to follow, so it's a good way to build an audience that way. And of course, it's the home of influencers. There are tons of influencers on Instagram and they're always looking for products and services to promote. Great opportunity for businesses to give an influencer free products or services in exchange for their influence to their audience. Twitter, good for customer service. I always like to say if you have a problem with a business, go on their Twitter feed and do a Twitter post. They're very quick to reply to the problem that you're trying to resolve. They also do ads. I say ads for males here because it skews more on the male audience. LinkedIn, of course, B2B, it's international, it's organic, in both the influencer marketing on the Snapchat and the TikTok. So which industry is this best for? So for Facebook, I'm going to call out beauty and fitness, jobs and education, employment training, healthcare, docs, dentists, vets, restaurants, finance, realtors. Great place to be because people are always mobile, they're looking to do something and they're looking for a recommendation in order to do that. When we look at Instagram, it's good for education, it's good for sports. I think the top Instagram influencers are Messi, they're soccer players. If you're familiar with soccer, everybody knows Messi, but it's there's an opportunity there. As I said, sport teams, nonprofits do a lot of Instagram, technology companies, consumer goods, once again, because there's so many influencers on there, business and office, tools and supplies. Twitter, higher education, of course, sports teams, food and beverage, alcohol is big on Twitter, finance, investments, Bitcoin, all these type of companies do a lot on Twitter. LinkedIn, healthcare does really well on LinkedIn, IT, construction, retail businesses, manufacturing, pretty much all your business sectors in that space. TikTok, as I said, very artsy, creative, entertainment-oriented, interior design, sports and fitness, beauty, art, jewelry, all these types of things. TikTok, all about the entertainment, the silliness, fitness and sports, fitness trends, Mara's a personal chef, and she has clients that'll see a TikTok recipe and they'll say, hey, can you make this TikTok recipe for me next week? So once again, it's a way for an opportunity to get new ideas. And then last but not least, users target emotions here. So what the users and what emotions that we can essentially connect to with that. And I was part of a program, I guess probably almost 20 years ago. It's called Monopolize Your Marketplace. It was a mastermind group, and they looked at advertising. And they looked at advertising that got results and advertising that didn't get results. And they distilled it down to 4 components. And the 4 components were, number 1, interrupt your audience. So we all seen the ad, which has this headline. It's like, what the heck are they talking about? So number 1 is interrupt your audience. Number 2 is engage your audience with what you just interrupted them with. Number 3 is educate on why you're the ideal person to do business with or company to do business with. And the 4th piece is low risk offer. What is that low risk offer? What is that call to action that you have on there to get them to do business with? And if you look at your advertising, if you look at your Clipper magazine or whatever you get in the mail, look for those companies that have that interrupter, basement mold problem, making you sick. That's an interrupter, right? And then the next line is the educate thing. We have a solution to help get rid of that mold out of your house. And then the education piece. We've been getting mold out for 20 years. And then the last piece. Call us now for a free mold evaluation. So once again, they have that information, the 4 pieces in there. But the other advertising you see is they'll interrupt you, they'll engage you, they'll educate you with, and they're like, give us a call. It's like, that's not a call to action. 10-second battery change, we're good.
That was pretty impressive.
All right, that's the DJ part of it. Right, DJ Bishop?
I like what you just went through.
There you go. So we're talking emotions here. We're talking about, once again, the interrupt piece, engage, educate, low risk offer, but the different audience are inspired in different ways. So Facebook people are really looking for information, they're curious, they're self-conscious, they're connected, versus Instagram where they're looking for inspiration and entertainment, versus Twitter, generally they're anxious, they're overwhelmed, they're informed. Twitter's a lot about like newsy stories there. They're gonna like interrupt you, like, the banking system's gonna go down and people, they kind of keep commenting. So it's not a real positive environment to be in from a Twitter perspective. I mean, you can go down that rabbit hole and you're like, and then you're like, why do I waste all my time on this? But Twitter is, as I said, is a place for thought leadership. So if you're thought leadership in your space, if you're trying to get the word out on, what a great night's sleep looks like, then that's an opportunity to be on Twitter. LinkedIn, once again, very B2B, smart people, they're inspired. There's a lot of celebration. Hey, new hire, new job, all those types of things that are on LinkedIn. People are connected. People are motivated. So once again, good opportunity to engage an audience on LinkedIn. And once again, your TikTok and your Snapchat, funny, creative, silly, all these crazy things that get you viral or famous from a viral perspective. But at the end of the day, and Tom will tell you, so Tom, Tom from Main Street Auto, Tom had a viral video. The video was somebody brought their car in and it had a noise coming from under the engine. And then, it's like every time the engine would spin, it was like, and it turned out to be a kitten that was caught under the plastic cover under the engine. So they did a little video, and the kitten was fine, but the whole video, I think he got 1.4 million views.
And it was picked up on the news.
Yep, and the news came out and did a story on him as well. So you never know, because I work with Tom as well, and he's like, yeah, I want to do some viral videos, and then all of a sudden he's like, guess I got my viral video. So you never know what that's going to be and how people are going to connect with it. But yeah, a kitten that crawled under the plastic cover underneath the engine, and the person drove with the kitten in there to Tom's place and says, I don't know what this strange noise is. So once again, great content for social media. I think he originally posted it on Facebook, and then from Facebook he went to, he had a company actually call him and wanted to license his content and put it in other places. So it's very interesting how things change very, very quickly from something that you're going, hey, we'll just record a video. So let's go a little deeper dive on these. So once again, tips for Facebook. Photos are very, very important. I mentioned the brand part of it. So if you go to our publicity page, you'll see our little brand logo here. And then the banner I change on a regular basis. Once again, I try to get my face on there somehow because once again, I am my brand. I want to get personal with it. Make sure you have the right photo sizes. How many people have gone to a Facebook page where half the top is cut off of it? So it's 820 by 312. So it's basically almost like 1 unit tall by a little more than 2 units wide. Your profile photo has to be square, and it should be at least 600 pixels. So once again, a nice photo, you can size it down to there. You're gonna put your intro, your contact details, your socials, and your website on there. Definitely it's an opportunity to, once again, toward other places that people can find you. And then when you do share images, both Instagram and Facebook are square in nature as well. They will take a landscape as well piece, but most people on a mobile device aren't gonna tilt their phone. They're looking for that square image that has everything in there. And also too, if you share a link to another website, it's gonna kind of give the website page point of view as well. So once again, so I say polish your personal profile. Most things people miss is their social media links. Make sure your website's current, and there's a little call to action button in there. I like the call to action going to your calendar. So there's some services like Calendly where people can book an appointment with you. Because if you just click the call in there, it's good if you're available for the phone call, but once again, offer that free consultation. Offer that 15-minute consultation, and then you're able to utilize that click or call to action button. Some other tips here, there's a bio section, so make sure your bio is based on your work and your industry, of course. Any certifications that you have, definitely put those in there as well. I mentioned that in Instagram. The ways to grow your Facebook page is you want to leverage Facebook groups or create your own group around your brand. It's free to create a group on Facebook and build a little community around what you do. Posting regularly, we like to see people post at least 3 times a week. Some people will tell you post 3 times a day. It really depends on your audience, but Facebook has a tool built in now where it tells you the best time to make a post, which is basically when your audience is active. So when you go to post on Facebook right now, not through your Facebook page, but through when you go to your Facebook business page on the left-hand side, you'll see something called Planner. If you click on Planner and use that to post, it'll give you the suggestions on what time your ideal audience is most active. I say go live on Facebook. It should be, once again, a strive goal here. Once again, Chris, you do a listing on a property, just take your phone and say, hey, I got this cool listing right here. It could just be for a minute to say, go live. And anything you do live is archived as a video on your page as well. It's free, why not try it? Avoid links in your post, add links in the comments. Facebook is getting a little tricky with this because they want you to stay in Facebook world. They don't want you to leave Facebook world. And when you put a link to leaving Facebook, their algorithm says we're gonna bump that down a little bit because we don't want you to leave Facebook. So do your post, and then every post has a comment section, and comment with a link in the comment section. So their algorithm isn't seeing that right now, so it's an opportunity to create a post and create an opportunity to do that. It depends on the site. So I know with Chris, we post some industry content on there. They haven't really been bothering with that much, but I think it's more like news stories and things like that, where they're things that have a high volume of traffic. They're kind of suppressing that in the Facebook algorithm. So put your links in your comments. And networking with people in the same niche. Of course, if you're in a specific niche, ask people to like and follow your page. You like and follow their page. It's a great way to build an audience for that. And as far as posting groups go, if you do join a group, don't spam the group. Provide interesting tips, tools, and things like that could benefit the group that you're a member of and show you as a thought leader. Let's move on to Instagram. So make sure your Instagram profile changes from private to business. A lot of people still have their personal accounts on Instagram. You want to make sure you update to business. It's very easy to do. You click on the settings and they offer the opportunity to upgrade to business. Business gives you statistics. Business gives you the category that you can add to your profile over the personal, which is basically just the who you are and some links. And then also create a profile with a searchable name. A lot of people have these names that are hard to remember. You can use dots and dashes in Instagram as well. So, rockstar.realtor, you can do these, or your name dash, what you do, because people will search that and it's easy to find rather than, Super Bob 123, which is like, okay, who's this? And they're not easy to find. So we'll make sure you do that. That's a searchable name. And you asked me about hashtags in the past. Hashtags are good, and in the tools now they also offer you hashtags, or you can create your own tags as well. Generally, what you want to do is do a little bit of homework. So if you're making a post about a topic that's popular, just hashtag that word. So it's the hashtag sign and the word behind it. That allows people to search on those specific types of social media for specific content relating to what you're doing or what you're posting. Always follow people who've liked your post in your niche. Give that like back. Once again, they like you, you like them. Of course, your fans and followers. And then I also recommend using the post scheduling software. There's some software that's outside of the social media. One's called Hootsuite, another one's called Buffer. And then Meta is basically the Facebook Business Manager. That's included with your Facebook account, where you can manage both your Instagram account and your Facebook account. And you can schedule in advance. That classic question, I don't have time for social media. Go to your Facebook page, click on Planner, spend an hour on a Sunday, schedule a dozen posts for the course of the month, you're done. And it makes it very, very simple. And the other piece is, if you have a product or service that you're looking to grow your business with, I would say, make a small investment in paid ads. You've probably seen Boost My Post, which is an opportunity to have your post shown in more places. $3 a day, $6 a day, give it a shot. See if you get more traffic, see if you get more engagement, but make sure you have that clear call to action on that post. So if you're gonna boost a post, say what I want people to do when they see this post. Oh, I want them to click on this button to call me. Oh, I want to have them click on this button to go to my website. Make sure you have your clear call to action in any advertising you're doing, because then you can measure that. Because Facebook will tell you, we show your ad to 1,000 people. Well, how many people clicked on it? What did they do? So you want to make sure you have that second piece of element in there, which is what we call the data. And we're going to move on to that. Tips for LinkedIn. Professional profile pictures is my LinkedIn as well. Once again, your headshot. And then there's a place to put a banner in the back here. And a lot of people just put like a picture. I took a little different approach here. I created a little graphic on Canva, and I use that as my background with some of the key reasons on why people would hire me. So customer-centric, optimizer of efficiency, playbook visionary, accelerator of targeted KPIs and results. So a little more business wordy, but in this sense, I was able to get over 3,000 followers, and I have over 500 connections. So once again, it's continued to evolve it and change it and get some interaction with it, and don't leave it up there for 5 years. Try to freshen it up and based on what your customers are asking for. So whether you're the hip and back pain specialist when it comes to mattresses, why don't you throw that up there? Because people are like, oh, I know somebody who has that problem. That's why I didn't come to work today. I got to call Kelly. So that's the whole piece with making sure that you have a professional bio. The About Us section, make sure you put your achievements in it and the progress that you've made with other businesses. We do recommend posting on a regular basis, hashtagging as well. And then also too, you don't have friend requests in LinkedIn, but you do have business requests. So I would say every business that you've done business with, make sure you follow them and they follow you, because that also builds your audience. And when we say building audience, what does that mean? Well, number one, when you like, follow, or comment on somebody, that's going to show up in your news feed, right? We all see that when we comment on something, it shows up in the news feed. And then you show up in their news feed. So we're in the business of constantly letting people know who we are, what we're doing, what's new, what's exciting, and then also it's an opportunity for them to give you a referral. Top tips if you haven't heard of Quora, Quora is a blogging platform. You can have a blog on your website, but if you're in a business where you're trying to be an authority in your niche, it's a platform where you can contribute an article, something around the thought leadership space or the expertise that you're in. And then the search engines love it because they use it as a SEO result when people search for that topic. So if people are searching for, drumming circles, then we have an expert in the audience here as well, and the benefits of those, or the health benefits, You're like, okay, well, I could do a post on Facebook, or I could do a post on my website, or I can do a blog post. But God, if I could post somewhere where essentially millions of people are seeing that, and I have my website link in that article, it's an opportunity to get free web traffic to my website. The advantages of bartering, that's another opportunity where, as I said, create some content around it and submit it to sites like Quora. So Quora is, as I said, it creates authority for businesses. You can embed links in your posts. You can redirect them to a landing page. And another one I recommend is called Medium. Medium is also a free blogging platform where you're going to have that second R in what Google's looking for. So the relevancy of content. So people are searching for a specific business. A lot of people don't want to be sold. They look at the Google ads there, like, I'm not going to look at those people. I'm going to look here. I'm going to see their 5-star businesses. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Oh, this person wrote an article about what they're an expert in. I'm going to read that. I'm going to learn about that business a little bit more before I do business with them. And then that's an opportunity to, once again, connect. And also, I do recommend blogging on your website, which is basically writing an article and posting it on your website. A lot of websites are very static. We build a website, our products and services don't change. Site goes static. Blogging allows that recency and relevancy to come back to your website because Google's going to re-index that and put that information out there. TikTok. So some tips for growing your social media presence on TikTok: consistency, keeping your followers are engaged, using hashtags, responding to comments, some content that stands out. Also for YouTube as well. If you're doing some video and you can set up your own YouTube channel, very easy to do. If you have a Google account, you basically just go to YouTube, create a channel, do the same thing we're talking about, upload a profile picture, upload a logo, and then upload the video. It's on your phone. It's very easy to do. And YouTube actually created something, I guess about 2 years ago, called YouTube Shorts. They're just like little 1-minute videos. So those 1-minute videos that you're doing about your business, get it on YouTube. YouTube is the second most traffic search engine in the world. Google being number one, Google number one, YouTube number 2. And your daily workout should consist, not the daily workout, but maybe once a month. Make sure you're always Googling yourself. How many people Googled themselves within the last month?
Every day.
Every day. That is exactly, making sure what's coming out here. So you Google yourself, look at your online reputation, make sure you're a 5-star company. 4.9, 4.8, people look for that as well. Also, Google's not gonna bump up a 2-star company. They're just not. Because you're searching for top businesses and they're giving you a 2-star company, you're like, I'm not looking at that. So they make sure that they're 4 and 5-star companies. And the other piece you want to make sure is that you're responding to your reviews. People leave you a review, respond to them. Very simply, the tip for responding for reviews is make sure you mention their name. Make sure you mention how they commented, maybe the service or product that they commented about, or your smiling, friendly face. Share that compliment back, great opportunity to work with you. And those are the types of real review responses that you want out there. Make sure they're personalized. And respond promptly. So when you Google yourself, look at your Google reviews. If you got a new review, go on there, respond to it. So as far as success goes, I mentioned the data. And our data in the social media branding aspect are likes, follows, shares, and comments. Likes, follows, shares, and comments. So as far as those go, that's how you know you're doing a good job. When you do your posts, check out, once again, if it's Facebook, you're going to look at the little icon to the side there, which is your analytics. It's a little chart icon. Click on that. It'll show you all your posts. It'll show you how people have engaged with, whether they've liked, and your new followers you'll see grow over time. And it's all about the data. And I see so many people being taken advantage of in this social media business where they pay hundreds of dollars to companies that supposedly are helping with their Google piece, but there's no data behind it. They're like, yeah, we're doing the best job we can. Let's look at the data on a monthly basis, and let's look at the opportunity to get better engagement with the posts and the social media that we're putting out there. I would like to touch on the legal and ethical factors considered for personal branding. I'll give you 2 examples. One is I have a client that's a franchise, and they borrowed pictures from the national franchise website and put it on their website. And they got a nasty gram from a predatory law firm saying that you're in violation of copyrighted materials. And they're like, no, I'm a franchisee. I pay for that. They're like, no, you didn't pay the license for that. That's only for the franchise website. You need to pay us damages, and you need to pay us a licensing fee for it. And there are predatory law firms that go after companies like that. All they do is they get a library of photos from a photographer or a group, and the photographer in the group has the right, once again, to make sure that they're benefiting from what they've done. We don't, that's common with copyrights and trademarks. We want to make sure that those people are being compensated for. So be careful what images you post on your website. I also have done websites with GoDaddy, and I've used the GoDaddy free image library. And I've gotten a nasty gram from a law firm saying there's a picture on a website that is not licensed. And I'm like, sure, it is. GoDaddy paid the license for it. So I had to call the GoDaddy legal department. I worked with a GoDaddy attorney, and we responded back to the other law firm with that. So you got to make sure that what you're using, and as I said, we go back to the authentic imagery. Make sure you're using the imagery that is authentic to your business, and you can have a great photographer come out and shoot you in action.
It's advisor, when the photography picture, every image we produce, there's metadata. The data shows where, when was taken, and who the copyright license is to. All my photographs have spin photography of my pictures. So anybody who takes a picture, I can click on the picture, download it, and pull the metadata. It'll say I took that picture. So when you take stock pictures from online, be aware that you may be taking someone's intellectual property. So be aware of that. Always take your own pictures. When you get your website set up, like Daryle says, great. Make it your own. Take your own pictures, your own products. That way there's no legal issue with that. Because everything a photographer does is our artwork. It's our property intellectually. So we market as so. So be careful of that.
And the QR code, I actually created a page around some of the legal things that are happening as well. The other piece is your website ADA compliant? So ADA is a federal law. As many of you know, if you have a brick and mortar business, the doorways have to be a certain size, the bathrooms have to be handicap accessible. So we're doing it now from a brick and mortar perspective, but now we have to do it from a website perspective. And what does that mean? You want to make sure that your website has some tools built into it that allow someone that's visually impaired to navigate your website, or someone that has an impairment that could potentially cause a seizure because you maybe have moving pictures on your website. So what these tools are, it's a little tool that plugs into your website that basically shuts down those things based on a little menu that people can pop up. I'm sure you visit a website, it's a little handicap chair icon on most websites, haven't seen it yet. And what that does is that protects you legally. And you also should have something called an accessibility statement on your website, which says, hey, we're doing the best we can to make sure our website's accessible to all people. And there's predatory law firms that are going after businesses, specifically consumer businesses in the hotel and marketing business. Let me see if I can show you something real quick here. It's this little icon in the bottom here. Can you see that? And what this does is does little accessibility adjustments for them. So there's a seizure-safe profile, vision impaired profile, an ADHD-friendly profile, a cognitive disability profile, a keyboard navigation, so they can use the mouse to navigate your page, or they can use the keyboard. There's also, for blind users, it basically turns on the ability to make sure that all the pictures on your website can be described to somebody that's blind. There's something called alt tags on websites where basically if I can't see the image, what is that image of? And what happens is these predatory law firms go after people like, my visual impaired client was trying to interact with your business, but your business website is not compliant. So because it's a federal law, they send you a letter. Some of them I've seen where they basically just file suit in federal court if you're a business that they think has money. And then what you have to do is you have to hire an attorney to answer back that letter. And of course, you have to hire an attorney that can try cases at the federal level, and those attorneys are anywhere from $600 to $800 per hour. So it becomes very cost prohibitive for businesses, so that you have to go bankrupt or go out of business. So I created a page around that to show some of the news stories that are coming out. So we're actually reaching out to our businesses that we built websites for and saying, hey, let's implement the accessibility adjustments to your website. The little tool here, so anybody that visits your website can take advantage of it. So I just show you here. So the seizure proof kind of takes the colors off of it. You see the color change there? And then the vision impaired makes the colors more bright or more contrast. And then there's this ADH friendly piece here where it reduces distractions on the website, so it's going to shut off, and it actually gives you just this little window to kind of navigate the website. There's a cognitive disability profile, and this provides users such as autism, dyslexia, to focus on the visual elements, so it puts these little boxes around elements. I mentioned the keyboard navigation. It also allows your website to adjust the font size, so it can make the fonts bigger. So for people that don't have their magnifying glasses on, they can see that. A lot of people do that on their phone. You can adjust the line height. There's also a dark contrast where it'll highlight sections of the website. If it's like light colored text, it'll put some color behind them. So it's a really cool tool, that's available as what we call a plug-in to the website. So as I said, we for clients that want it, we'll install it on their website to make sure they're compliant. This particular company happens to be in the community management business, so they have a pretty broad community they're servicing. So they made the decision to add this little icon here, and people are getting to know it a little bit better. That from a community perspective, we're able to serve the community in its entirety. The other piece is we wanted to let people know that there is a federal tax deduction for, and Chris, you know this, for people that put in ADA bathrooms, walkways, and stuff like that. They can actually deduct the cost of that on their taxes. And it's the same thing with your website. You're just making your website ADA compliant. So it's a no-brainer for businesses out there to make sure that their websites are accessible and to avoid those potential lawsuits. Yes?
Question for you on that.
Sure.
Is that something that, I have access to the back office of my website. Is that something I can load up and add to my website myself?
Yes. So it's a script that's pasted into the footer of your website. So whatever pages pop up with that. And just reach out. I'll be glad to help you with that. So the legal compliance piece of it, as I said, if you have a chance to scan the code, you can take a look at that. But we'll give people copies of this presentation as well, so they can make sure that they are legal and compliant. And,
I'm sorry.
yes.
You heard about that big scam going on with QR codes?
Malicious QR codes.
Malicious QR codes?
Yes.
They're pasting copies over QR codes at, like a TD Bank, they'll put it on their sign, and someone will go click it and they'll go to the person's website and transfer money, and it's crazy.
Yeah, they're actually putting scripts that'll trigger a script, just like you're going to click on a bad link, like don't click on that link in the email that you get. They take that link and they embed that link into a QR code. So it's essentially the same thing as clicking on a bad link in your email, or malicious link in your email, as we call it. So get to the end here. I just want to give you some top tips before we move on. Once again, the key takeaway today, stay authentic to yourself. Your followers are going to really appreciate it. 2, attend meetups like yourself here. It's not all about the digital world, it's about the physical world as well. So coming to events like today, meeting new people, telling people about your website. Thank you, Stacy, for putting all these great events together. Look for the blogging opportunities. I mentioned being able to show thought leadership in your specific niche. Host a webinar. You can go on Facebook Live and just host a webinar and give people tips on what you do or how you can help them in what they do. Speaking at different workshops, just get that. Offering a free consultation for testimonials. Look for opportunities to get testimonials and get those 5-star reviews from your clients. So free consultation, free service, free bonus, whatever that may be. And then something here I had, offer an Ask Me Anything session, which is basically an opportunity, same thing that I do with my 15-minute consultation. Just ask me what you're struggling with, what can I help, and how can I do a better job? How can I help you do a better job in your business? And salesy, at the end of the day, and Kathy, you know this as well, we come from an abundance mindset, right? There's plenty of business, there's plenty of opportunities out there. A lot of times it's not all about the sale, it's about building that relationship, because the person that you do business with can have an opportunity to refer you to somebody else. A lot of people come from the scarcity mindset where there's not enough opportunity. I gotta get the sale, I gotta make my quota, the whole thing. Live in the abundance mindset. You have the opportunity to, as I said, might not be the right opportunity for you, but those opportunities will come to you. And that leads me to my give, get quote here, which is, people are like, I give you something, I need to get something back. Just add another give in there. Continue to give to those clients, offer a free consultation, offer a free gift, offer something to help them in their business, and then get something in return. Because there's also this energy exchange piece where I'm expending energy to you, I expect you to expend energy back to me. But once again, we believe in this give, give, get strategy to make sure that there's an opportunity to, as I said, educate, give some new ideas, and hopefully those ideas will work for you. And my give, give, get piece is thank you for the presentation. This is my QR code to my website. And I just started a new program called the Authority Accelerator. So I'm looking to work with 3 clients that would take me up on an offer for a fraction of the cost to help them with their authority. So if you're interested in that, be glad to help you as well. Questions? Yes, sir.
Good job.
Thank you, appreciate it.
About reviews, does it really make a difference whether they're on social media or Google? All my reviews are on Google right now. And does it really make a difference?
It's going to go back to where your audience is. Facebook has reviews, as you know, now. Facebook is actually shifting to something called recommendations. So they used to have a big reviews part of it. It still exists on some pages. So if your pages has that reviews tab and your audience is on Facebook, that Facebook review is going to be more valuable to you on Facebook than it is on Google because they're already in the Facebook world. So we say diversify your reviews. Yelp, as I said, Google, Facebook. If you're a realtor, like realtor.com, Zillow. If you're, depends on, as I said, your niche, where do your people go? If you're a contractor, home advisor. So there's literally hundreds of review websites out there. You have to go where your audience goes. So if your audience is on that site and there's reviews available for those, do it. But we focus on Google. Google's 80% of the traffic. Kelly.
Mine's really not a question, but it's actually a point for you. If you haven't sat with Daryle for 15 minutes, and then when you do, you're gonna have so many aha moments that, not that you think we're doing it wrong, but we probably are doing it wrong. Because I was doing everything wrong, and so Daryle's got me really on the straight and narrow. I didn't even have the address correct, if you remember. And so just things happen. If you're not on top of it, you keep falling to the bottom, and it is very true. I noticed when I do mattresses near me and Evesham now, I do pop up one. Before I wasn't even existing. Now I think I'm 4th underneath 3 big boys, and one of those is sponsored. So he's doing it. He's doing everything right for me. So again, even if you think you're doing it right, sit with them for that 15 minutes. Find out if you really are. It doesn't cost you anything, right? But it may give you a big return in the end. So I just wanted to let everybody know that, how much I care for you, about what you're doing for me. So.
And she didn't even pay him for that.
I
There you
did.
go. In the back, yes.
I have a question on how do you get followers on Instagram? I avoided Instagram for years and years. I have like 423 Facebook followers. I posted a contest on my Facebook page where I got 252 posts, none of who did what they were supposed to do for Instagram. So what's the quickest way to get Instagram followers?
So have you linked your Facebook and your Instagram together?
Yes.
Okay. So once again, looking at following people that are your potential audience, it's about that give, that like and follow piece of it. Also too, if there's similar businesses that do what you do or complementary businesses that what you do, look at their posts and comment on their posts. Because once again, people look at the comments that people are making on the posts and they're like, oh, that's an interesting company. Let me click on that and let me see what they do. Finding likes and followers is organic. Why do we click the follow button? Because we saw something cool. We saw something that could benefit us. We saw a tip, we saw a recipe, we saw something interesting. So you have to do the same thing. So everything that we do, although we do, paid ads, we're really focused on making sure you have a really good organic foundation. And the organic foundation is made on interacting with other people that have a similar mindset or have a similar audience to what you do. So my advice would be, look at similar businesses outside of your geographic area. If you have a product or service that can be sold, nationally, so you're not like perceived as a competitor, but at the same time, maybe connect with that person on an instant message saying, hey, I do this. Tell me a little bit about what you do and make those personal connections around there. The other part of it is you can get shout outs from people with larger followers if you make that personal connection. So, once again, Kelly, you're working with a chiropractor and doing a custom mattress. So that's a chiropractor has an audience, and essentially, she can talk that audience as well through these strategic alliances and partnerships.
He's already done that. So he follows me, I follow him, and we're already interconnecting. So it's kind of cool, And I noticed videos. I do videos with Daryle's son, and don't be shy. Have a good time. Our first one, I was like, but now I'm like, yeah, when's our next video? So I think videos. Is that okay to say?
Yeah, absolutely. The videos are a big part of it. In fact, if you follow, Paulie and things that he does for the economic development, they do reels for local businesses. And I heard the other day, every time you go into a business, they'll do a little interview with a local business owner. And there's that hesitancy. It's like, I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to be on camera. And then all of a sudden, you and Tom talk to them. They're like, yeah, I could probably be on camera.
Reels are fun because it's your giving you a door, a step into the door for social marketing, social media marketing. So we go in there. Our average reel, our lowest one is like 900. Our biggest one is like 8,000. Most of them are averaging 1,000 within 3 to 7 days. It's just give you a little splash into what you can do on your own. We'll give you that little hint. It's a minute or less. That's all we do. You really don't say much. You do a quick introduction with various members of the Economic Advisory Council, and then I take a 5 to 10 second voiceover as I tour your business. So that's the most important thing. You want in that 10 seconds, you have to explain what you want to give the customer. Exactly.
Statement.
And hopefully I'll come tomorrow. I'll be doing the Ivy Place next door. And if not, reach out to Stacy if you want to get a reel. Let us know, and we'll try to schedule best we can. Again, the Economic Advisory Council is something I love doing for this township, but it's also my second part-time job. I'm a full-time father. I'm a photographer, a police officer part-time, and I do this. So we try to get it in as much as we can. But we're here to help you as part of the Economic Advisory Council. We want to help our town grow. We want people to do that, and we have to help each other. One thing, and I'll touch on Darren's stuff. I get to know everybody who's around me from either networking groups here. I follow them. I also do. I look up your Google site. I check your name in Google, and I hit the link. Each link in search adds up over a while. So you want to help each other out? Look at another business member you know. Do a Google search. Click on the link to the website. You just help each other out. I do it every morning. Get coffee. I start clicking for about half an hour. That's all I do. And it's very important to do that. That's how you help each other grow. It doesn't cost you anything. It takes you about half an hour of eating breakfast, drinking coffee, and clicking on stuff. And that's how your reviews go. I try to look myself up and try within the state top 5 searches for different niches I do. If I'm not, I figure, what am I doing wrong? What I miss? What am I not promoting myself with? And I try to keep the top 5 or better. It's hard to beat the people who pay to be number 1 or 2, but if you're still within the top 5 of non-sponsored, you're doing pretty well on Google.
Absolutely. So you heard about it's a free service. So I'm honored to join the Evesham Economic Advisory Committee. So if you're an Evesham business, you can coordinate with Stacy. Or Stacy, why don't you talk about it, because it's a great free service that you're offering here to get some social.
Absolutely. So everybody has my email address now because I've reached out to them. So if you'd like to do a video reel, you'd like to get some attention to your business, the Economic Advisory Council will come out. I'll schedule that for them to come to your location. It's great, and as Paulie said, they just do a 1 minute?
90 or less.
Minute or less.
Yes.
Reel with you talking about what you do, seeing your beautiful thing. I'm looking at Lydia, so I'm thinking of the beautiful cards and things that she does for Lydia's Land. For anyone that has a business, if you have a real estate location, and as I'm sitting right here, maybe we can come out and do something there. It's for Marlton businesses, It's free, doesn't cost anything, just call me.
Yeah.
Let me know.
There's some great real estate available on Main Street right there, so it's a great opportunity to highlight one of your properties. Yeah, and that's what we're talking, the power of sharing, right? So it goes on the Evesham Township website, which has, what's the stats on that? Thousands and thousands of followers.
And YouTube.
And YouTube as well.
YouTube.
Yep.
all that stuff. So it goes on there, and every member we try to share it on our personal pages. So as we share, again, it's the biggest part is helping each other out. We got to share what we see. If it's a fellow member, either MBA, LTED, BNI, whatever, share the information. You're helping each other out. You can't market everything by yourself. We got to help each other, and that's what grows business in town. It makes us a place where people want to be. Again, I was a police officer for 25 years. I started here with only 31 officers and less than 30,000 people live in Marlton. Okay, right now, even as a part-time, we have almost 100 officers. Our town's close to over 65,000 people. People like Marlton. It's centrally located. It's a great place to live and raise family and shop. But to make that grow, we have to help each other out.
And that's called social signal. So you hear something about the Google algorithm and the social algorithm. Anytime you like, click, follow, or share, that goes into the algorithm telling those social media channels that this is content other people are liking and sharing. Maybe you should too. So that's what bumps up your social feed, or people that are, once again, interacting with the content. So just as Paulie says, interact with content of local businesses. It's going to benefit you. It's going to also help that local businesses rise up to the top organically. Great point. Thank you.
Can I say something too? Since I came to Marlton, I really changed the way I shop too. I really do shop local. Afterwards, I can't wait to see Lydia, because I want my thank you cards now from Lydia. So I noticed my Amazon shopping has changed completely, and I really do shop as local as I can. So that's why I say shop local, guys. It really is a blessing to go into somebody that you know and say, and that you're doing business with them. So.
It's that human connection. As I said, it's not all about the digital, it's about the physical world. So we want to make sure we're sharing that energy with people that we're in contact with, and also seeing their prosperity and abundance when they do well with the business and they sell a property or get a new listing, or need health coaching or personal chef. I mean, all these opportunities where we can have community, build community again, because we are our own village here, and we want to support our village. And the economic advisory committee, as I said, it's all volunteer. It's people like myself and Paulie, where we're just looking to help promote local businesses and get their word about who they are, what they do, and why they do it better than anybody else, or what makes them unique. So please count me as a resource. As I said, I'm going to hang out for a few minutes after we're here. And Stacy, I know you're planning the next topic. If you want to give Stacy feedback on the next topic, as I said, it might not be presenting, but she's always looking for opportunities on what you want to hear, and make sure we're getting that feedback.
Mm-hmm.